The world population is dying off by a super bacteria that's 100% lethal and has affected 100% of the population. There is no cure. As a last hurrah for the human race, the greatest scientific minds have come together with the goal to end life with a bang. Blow up the sun. Gentlemen, we simply cannot allow this plague to continue to exist. Our species is dead. The bacteria can enter a persistent state which will last for 1,000 years, remaining lethal that entire time. There have been no cases of any human surviving, and all genetic tests show that there is no such chance. The bacteria has defeated every antibiotic we have, even those with such lethal effect that we dare not use them on humans at all. This planet will be a pool of infection unless we do something about it. Now, while we still have time. Well, Doctor, you seem to have thought this out. Do you have a solution? In time, the sun would become a red giant, with a radius that would include the Earth, sterilizing it completely. I propose to accelerate that process. Accelerate the sun turning into a red giant? I don't think there's even a remotely reasonable theory for how to begin doing that. That is precisely why we are here. We are the best and brightest remaining alive. We will receive the best supportive care in this facility. We have the entire computing capacity of the NSA at our call. We have the best modeling software engineers in the world here. Here is where we will find a way to ensure that this plague does not escape this planet. Barely in time, they do discover a method, which turns out to be surprisingly simple for such a gargantuan task. Status report, all stations. Power generation, ready. The entire power generation capability of the Earth is being sunk into this one project. Everything else has been cut from the grid. Everything. There's no point to hospitals or anything else. After this, there won't be anyone left to care, or to care for. Broadcast warning, ready. A third of the power is being channeled into a warning broadcast. Stay away. Plague. Sterilization in progress. Range clearance, ready. The technique is quite simple, but even a plane flying in the wrong place could disrupt the attempt. All aircraft have been grounded. Any that wouldn't land by T-1 hour have been shot down. All military craft were grounded no later than T-1/2 hour. Generators online and ready. The power of the Earth will be thrown into the sun in such a way as to accelerate the aging of the sun. It will be a red giant within 24 hours after the project begins. Director, all stations report ready. Proceed. The director, the scientist that started this, is barely hanging on to see the end of his brainchild. All the other scientists died as the project advanced, one by one. The best minds of the Earth gave everything they had to see to its destruction. T-10 seconds. Prepare to fire. Open your panels, insert your keys, and turn on the mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark! Aside from the dimming of the lights in the control centers, there is no visible effect. There won't be for another 1,000 seconds. The round-trip time from the Earth to the Sun and back. Even then, the early signs will be subtle. It'll be another 24 hours before the full effect is seen. Some people have prepared bunkers, but even those will not survive the heat of the sun. Not for the thousands of years that Earth will be exposed, at a minimum. T+17 minutes. Sensors are finally reporting the desired changes. Seems like it took a few seconds longer, Director. Silence. Director? Are you there? The assistant director responds. He doesn't sound much better than the director had. The director is dead. Just as you announced success, he passed away. With a smile. He knew the project had succeeded. Director, you know we won't be absolutely certain for another 3 hours, and we must continue the transmission for at least 24 hours to guarantee success. All true, but the fact that it worked at all is proof that it will work. If we have to transmit power for additional time, we will do so. Project Control, you will place all controls on automatic. Staff may continue to monitor for errors, but I don't want anything to go wrong simply because someone finally passed away. None of us are in good shape now. Not anywhere in the world. The assistant director spoke nothing but the truth. Despite all attempts to avoid it, everyone was eventually exposed. Even the people living in isolation due to immune deficiencies died. The bacteria couldn't be killed with the usual sterilization procedures, and using 2,000 degrees of heat would destroy anything they needed. No, they were the first to go. The canaries that warned the rest of us. Too late. The sun goes red giant. The earth is sterilized. 4 years later, Alpha Centauri. Sir, star 235-12356 just went red giant. That's far sooner than expected. They must have done it to themselves. Send the usual exploratory vessel. Warn them to keep their distance. Search for broadcast before they close with the system. Yes, sir. Do you think... Warily, the commander admonishes his officer. Don't speculate. It's bad for morale. Wait for the report. Less than a week later, the exploratory vessel returns. Sorry, sir. It was the plague. They accelerated the age of their sun to sterilize the planet. Here's the full broadcast, with all the technical specifications for what they did. I don't know how they knew, but they knew that someone else would need the information. The commander looks at the recordings. His eyes begin to water. The poor, brave bastards. They did their best. They didn't know it was already affecting so many stars. Now we may have the means to cut a firebreak in the face of this galactic disaster. Call a memorial ceremony. By the time it's assembled, I will have the Galactic Council issue the GCMH. They deserve it. They may have saved us all. Those of us who haven't already died. The commander looks at a 3D picture. A standard scene. Wife, husband, children. All gone now. Except him. The eldest child. Sent to the academy, as had been both his desire and his parents' hope. His planet was among the first to die. He's been falling back ahead of the infection front, reporting the death of planet after planet. Maybe now, he'll have some good news. It may require the deaths of tens of millions of stars, but they just might survive now. Maybe. If they have the courage, and the sheer bloody-mindedness that this will require. This story was written by Spin Dizzy Wizard. Read by Bag of Vicodin. Thank you for listening.